And we're streaming. Hi, everyone. I'm CBS 19 Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony here in the CBS 19 Weather Center. We continue to track showers and thunderstorms into the area. Right now, Hopkins County is the only county under a severe thunderstorm warning, but we do have a strong thunderstorm moving currently through Smith County. So that's what we're tracking. You can see here from our Tyler camera, we have cloudy skies from time to time. We'll see some lightning flashes. We have heavy rainfall also coming down currently. So let's take a look at our tornado watch. It's in effect until 11 p.m., and that is for our western counties. So that's going to be Rains County. It'll be Hopkins County. It will also include Anderson and Henderson County and Van Zandt County again until 11 o'clock. Right now, Smith County, Wood County, also Upshur, Gregg County, Cherokee County, and Houston County are not included in that tornado watch. So that watch again goes until 11 o'clock. All right, let's take a look at CBS 19 radar, and I will zoom in on the obvious large thunderstorm right now near Browning, just west of Overton, currently over Tyler. Looks like one heavier portion of the cell just passed through parts of White House, and this extends back toward Brownsboro and up toward Martins Mill. Lots of lightning there and over toward Lindale also at this time. So that is, again, a heavy thunderstorm, but not a severe warned storm. Just getting a question about Frankston, and we can see Frankston right now sitting just to the south of those thunderstorms. Probably looks pretty gray off to your north, but Coffee City, maybe some light rain. But really, if Frankston gets anything, it may have to wait on this severe warned cell that is currently tornado warned in parts of Limestone County. So we're keeping an eye on that. That's still 2 counties away from our area, moving into Anderson County if it can hold together in probably a couple of hours. Right now, that tornado warning goes till 5:45. Again, that's south of Groesbeck and just to the east of Marlin and west of Centerville, west of I-45. So it's still quite a bit away. Back here, though, we continue to see another stronger thunderstorm up here into parts of Camp County and Titus County. That's headed into Morris County. This is a pretty heavy thunderstorm moving into Mount Pleasant right now and into Mount Vernon. Let's see. Bobby wants to know about Cherokee County. Cherokee County, we're waiting on thunderstorms to possibly develop or arrive there, but right now no watches in effect in Cherokee County, Rusk, Alto, Jacksonville, all in the clear for the time being. So the question just came in about Gladewater. So let's go look at Gladewater. Gladewater is likely going to get some thunderstorms soon. Right now, they're not severe. We don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings out for the Gladewater area. You can see as we go back through Swan up toward Lindale, toward Horde, Haynesville, Ronesboro, over toward Kelsey and Gilmer, and then over toward Gladewater right now, just like some light rain. In fact, some of this may not even be reaching the ground, but it soon will. So you can see that thunderstorm out toward Winona that is just a few miles away from Gladewater. So I have to widen things out here so we can see just how fast this is moving. Roughly, the movement on these storms now is to the northeast at about 38 miles an hour. So let's get a track on the leading edge of maybe some of the heavier showers and thunderstorms here that would be headed toward Henderson at this time. So let me go back. I need to widen it out just a little bit more for you because you can hear the rumbles of thunder outside our television station. So here we go. I'm going to track this through Big Sandy down to Henderson, up to the northeast. Again, I said about 38 miles an hour. So it's picking up some forward speed here. That should put it into Overton, or if it's not in Overton already, it should be right on the doorstep. Liberty City, 528, Gilmer around 536, so Gladewater in that 530, 536 time frame, White Oak, Longview at about 554 if it holds together, makes it out toward Hallsville at about 6 o'clock this evening. Let's skip ahead here. Random little drizzle here in Ore City and super dark. Feels amazing outside, so probably some rain-cooled air, or at least maybe I would say nearby thunderstorm cooled air. There's likely some downdrafts coming out of the thunderstorms. Not seeing much in the way of any kind of twisting or turning motion within the thunderstorms. That's good news. Taking a look at the hail size, there doesn't seem to be much hail in that, but let me go back. It kind of skipped ahead there. Current dew points are now getting a little juicier. It's probably starting to feel more humid in Mineola and Tyler. Longview and Gilmer and Henderson still, to me, not supportive of a severe thunderstorm with dew points in the upper 50s. I like to see those numbers jump into the lower 60s if we're going to be talking about a severe weather threat. Instability's also been a little bit lower. All right, let's go down. Just want to check out this storm here west of Crockett. Again, that's moving to the northeast toward Personville and Palestine, but it's still quite some time away. That would be, I believe that's going to be, let's turn off the storm track there. So near Stranger, and that is headed to the north toward Highway 14. That's a pretty good couplet on that storm, and that's why it's tornado warned at this time. So, and that, again, that's a couple of counties away from Anderson County. So there is time to watch that one and see if it weakens as it moves into an area where there is a little less instability here across our region. All right, I'm going to zoom it back out here. What we're tracking and talking about in particular is this cluster of thunderstorms right here. The biggest threat at this time appears to be heavy rainfall over anything. That would be south of Canton along Interstate 20. This is likely going to lift over Interstate 20 and lift up into Longview and move out toward Henderson also. It's kind of moving from the west to the east. Let me put that in motion so we can definitely identify the motion on that. So the motion appears to be sort of northeast, but at the same time it's moving a little bit from west to east across the region. So that means Jacksonville got missed by that cluster. Mount Enterprise, you get missed by this cluster, but it is headed pretty heavily toward Gilmer. Longview's going to get maybe some very heavy rainfall here again within the next 45 minutes. Jefferson and Marshall. It's not a warned storm, though with all that lightning can be very dangerous and, of course, deadly. And there may be a little bit of small hail in that. Looks like right now, what is that, Tawakanee or Cedar Creek, might be out towards Cedar Creek. That the lake out, or Lake Athens. It's going to be Lake Athens that's crossing over. So as that crosses over Lake Athens, it moves up to the north. On the back end of that, let me stop this. There might be a little bit of hail inside here. Let's do our Titan Inspector, check out that storm. So there's a 90% chance that there is some hail in there. Could be quarter-sized hail. 1-inch hail would be severe, but again, it's not warned. A lot of wind. It's measuring almost a 9 on the wind scale from our Titan indicator. And the flooding impact currently at about a 4.2. So there's likely some very gusty winds in there. In fact, let me just check out pure velocity sample on this and see what's happening inside that with the winds in that storm. Perhaps maybe up to 40 miles an hour. So it looks like there's some 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts in that storm currently. Maybe even a stronger wind gust. So we'll see if that becomes a warned storm here with a severe thunderstorm warning right here on the Van Zandt-Henderson County line. That would move into parts of Wood County within the next hour or so. All right, Mark wants to know about White House. What's in store for Crockett? If Crockett sees anything, let me skip ahead to our last graphic, and I can kind of play that out. When people have questions about what's in store, we'll have to go to our future Skycast, and then we can kind of go through it that way. And this is going to be, this updates once an hour. So I would imagine that Groveton and Crockett here, we'll put this in, and there aren't that many thunderstorms down to the south. This is kind of overdoing it just a little bit. By 6:15, it looks like most everybody sees at least a round of thunderstorms. The severity, again, no watches are in effect for East Texas. We have lower instability here and not a ton of wind shear. So we may get away with more of a heavy rain threat and lightning threat and maybe a marginally severe hail threat until later tonight when maybe we get some wind gusts closer to 60 or 70 miles an hour. But we got to watch that cell that's out in Limestone County, because that cell, if it moves into Anderson County, could continue moving east into Cherokee County. Then we'd have one supercell out there that would be creating some problems in terms of tornadoes. Sometimes it only takes one bad cell or one cell to make a whole afternoon just a rough afternoon. So that's why we have to be sort of, cautiously optimistic about what we're seeing so far. Right. This is not on CBS on TV. Right, Laura. This is on our Facebook page, on our CBS19.TV stream, and also on our YouTube page. So that when we don't have severe thunderstorms, but we want to track impactful weather like this, that's what we'll do. We'll switch over to our Facebook page. If it was a tornado warned storm, then we would be breaking into programming. But we're not doing that right now, just because we don't have a severe thunderstorm watch in East Texas. We just have heavy thunderstorms coming down right now. Here's a strong thunderstorm. Again, not warned. Up towards Sulphur Springs, we had a severe thunderstorm warning in Hopkins County, but it looks like it's been allowed to expire. Farther north, up into Red River County and into Lamar County, there is a severe thunderstorm west of Powderly. And I believe towards that Fannin County, just to the west, severe thunderstorm warning till 5:30. So that's for another 9 minutes. But back here in East Texas, currently no severe thunderstorm warnings as we speak. Just some stronger cells. You can see this one west of Tyler has a pretty strong updraft. There may be some hail in that. There's certainly a lot of lightning on our Titan indicator. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. Our Titan indicator is a set of mathematical algorithms that look inside the storm and based on the parameters that it sees. And we'll take this full screen for you so you can see what I'm talking about. There's only a probability, 10% probability of having even hail inside that cell, but there may be some very strong winds with that cell as it comes into the west side of Tyler or lifts northward onto the west side of Tyler. So if you live on the west side of Tyler, maybe out toward, let's zoom in on that, out toward the airport, and you can see that just kind of went away, so it may have been a short-lived little wind burst. Let's see, you can find my glasses so I can pick out some of those streets that we're talking about here. So we look at that full screen. So that's going to be just move right over the loop right now, and County Road 1125 and Old Noonday Road, and I'll even go in a little bit closer. So there's Bellwood and Irwin, and looks like we're on to Elm Street. You can see this dark red here would indicate some very heavy rain currently over Oakwood, Queen Street, up toward Bow, over toward Bodark, Broadway, north of West Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, North Broadway up to FM 14 as it heads up toward 271. And that's all. This is just heavy rain moving into East Texas right now. I'm going to go back to our view outside here. That's our view from our Chase Bank building camera. And let me give you another view that is a little bit farther to the northeast, and that's going to be from our TV station. And that view here should give us. I have not seen a lot of rain as these a lot of wind as these thunderstorms have moved overhead. Earlier this week and back on Friday, as we've had thunderstorms move over our location here at the Loop and Troop, we've seen quite a bit of rain at times, but not seeing that right now. All right, so here's what I'll do. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes just as these thunderstorms come through here. But Chapel Hill says Peggy is getting it right now. Marshall is going to get the rain. Let's go back. We'll just track a few areas. We'll track this thunderstorm into some other towns, and maybe I can answer some questions as we're going to hear. Is Tyler going to be in a tornado watch? Nita, I don't. Right now, I don't think so, unless that cell out to the west, that's west of Palestine, can hold together and maybe prompt a watch, but the parameters aren't there for it. There's just not enough instability right now. The wind shear, to me, is really low. So maybe a severe thunderstorm watch. I just don't. I don't know that we'll get a severe thunderstorm or a tornado watch out of this. And now that it's heavily raining on us, it's certainly just zapping the atmosphere of some additional energy that it might have. So I'm looking inside the Shreveport National Weather Service chat room, and there's even the SPC, there's not discussion. There's more of a discussion about heavy rainfall with this than there is about a tornado watch. So that's good news. But I would just make sure that you're maybe staying closer to home, especially with all this thunder and lightning coming through. And I know there were some soccer games that were canceled here or Canceled in the middle part of the afternoon as these thunderstorms were rolling in. But it looks like this is a widespread, rather large cluster. When thunderstorms begin to cluster up like this, that can be a good thing because that turns it into less of a tornado threat. Sometimes it could be a damaging wind threat. Sometimes there could be embedded hail cores. But the heavy rain threat, I think, is going to be taking over with this. That storm out by Henderson has a little bit of rotation in it, so that may turn into a hailer there between Edom and Canton. All right, so we had the question about Marshall. Let's track this. We know this part of the cell here that's near Gilmer to Longview down to Henderson is moving to the northeast at 38 miles an hour. So that would take it into Marshall at roughly 6:14. So thunderstorm should arrive in Marshall in about an hour, maybe about 50 minutes from now. Gilmer should be right there on the doorstep, Longview, in about 10 minutes. Hallsville, 5:50, so about 15 minutes. Harleton also about 15 to 20 minutes. Oh, now we have a new severe thunderstorm warning, okay, that just got hoisted by the National Weather Service. This is going to be for Van Zant and Henderson County. Remember I pointed out that cell a little bit earlier when we first came on? I thought we had the possibility of some 60 or 70 mile an hour winds inside there. So what we have here is a little bit of a tornado impact. Looks like the rotation's increased a little bit. Let me see if let's see what Fort Worth is saying about that. Not seeing anything yet on that from their vantage point. Oops, got to come over here and cancel this out. Apologize. I'll get back to that in just a second. All right, so let me erase this, and I am going to go, okay. Thunderstorm, so the Weather Service is saying that this severe thunderstorm warned storm has the possibility of having some wind speeds that are closer to 60 to 65 miles an hour. I'm going to do a little check here. We're seeing some bright greens and reds coming out of that. So I got to turn off the watch and warning so we can kind of inspect this a little bit. So yeah, 50 mile an hour winds, gust there near Murchison. Another one up toward Martins Mill, coming in at around 30. This is 40 just south of Martins Mill. So there are some stronger winds. Here's one that's 57. So it's right on the borderline of a severe thunderstorm warned category. You need 58 miles an hour to get to a severe thunderstorm warning, and currently that's sitting right there on that doorstep. All right, so let's go back again. My goal was to just kind of walk everybody through where these thunderstorms were going, and we had that severe thunderstorm warning pop up for Van Zant County. Again, we are not on on CBS 19 at this time. This is strictly streaming through CBS19.tv, our web platform, and also on our YouTube channel, and then also on our Facebook page. So I appreciate everybody that's joined in here and has been watching us. All right, Lake of the Pines getting rain right now. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Looks like we'll go over Bullard again. Oh, you mean missing Bullard? Yeah, for the most part, that cell is going to miss Bullard, which is, there are parts of the area that have been kind of missed here recently with the rain. The rain has been favoring areas from Athens to Henderson, maybe Jacksonville northward. There have been areas to the south. It's kind of Palestine to Jackson to Nacogdoches over towards Center and maybe south of Jacksonville that have been sort of missed by some of the beneficial rainfall out of this. Deep East Texas did have some nice beneficial rain a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I could see there's certainly areas that, okay. This is a new, let me see if I can get some information for you here. So, okay. We may get a tornado watch issued within the next 1 to 2 hours. Okay, so with the watch that we're in now, we'll go back on this. So this is the current watch. So now the Storm Prediction Center just mentioned this. With some of these cells moving into this, for instance, that cell out there that's tornado warned, they may have a downstream tornado warning coming and issued within the next hour or two. So we will see. For the moment, Tyler is clear, yes, but Paul, we may get into a tornado watch later on this evening. All right, so time for me I need to step aside for a minute and kind of look at things and get ready for, we have the 10 o'clock news tonight, but of course we have the Country Music Television Awards that are on our air. If we have tornado warnings, of course we'll have to interrupt the programming for those. But right now we don't have a tornado watch in anywhere east of Henderson, Anderson, or Van Zant County. But again, we may get one in the next hour or two. And right now we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings except for the one that was issued up over parts of Van Zant County, and that goes until 6:15. All right, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this afternoon here on our Facebook page, on CBS19.tv, and our YouTube channel. Have a great night, and make sure you're just staying up to date with our forecasts on CBS19.tv. We will see you again probably before the evening is said and done.